successes. I see what you're doing. Your stage talk. You're so inspirational. It's very very nice. It's great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm watching you too. I saw your book and looks like you've been traveling. You've been a busy man.
Yes, yes,
Tell
Rick.
me about your book.
Thank you very much for your support. Yes, everything is going very well with book as well, with speeches, with seminars and trainings. I would like to expand this activity. I would like to see more results. I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for having what I have now, for doing this for but I'm more focusing on money making activities, on
Yeah.
financial activities. So what's bring me money, because I invest a lot in my brain, in myself, in my branding, in my marketing, but I should get more money from my investments. So that's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll happen. It will happen. It takes time and it takes a lot of work, as you know.
absolutely, absolutely. What's you in your life? How is everything?
Everything is good. Doing the podcast, doing some speaking. I'm going to Los Angeles this afternoon to meet with Michael Port and Lewis Howes. I'm going to Seattle next week to meet with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm getting ready to launch a coaching program, so just a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to do a summit too. I should include you in my world summit.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Yeah, that it probably won't be until maybe like February when everything, I mean, we'll start doing some work before then, but it probably won't launch until February, maybe March, but I'll keep you in the loop if you're interested.
Absolutely, Rick. I would love to. Thank you very much. Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm thinking about you as well to do something nice together here in Russia, in Europe, or in the United States, to bring you here, to 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 introduce you to my followers, to some business people here in Moscow, and that would
Oh,
be great.
that would be fabulous. I'd love to do that. That would really be fun. That would be great. Just let me know whenever you're ready. I'll be there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, Rick. Thank
So,
you.
so what should we talk about today in the interview?
Rick, whatever subject you would like to talk, we can do. We can talk about everything you would like to, about what interesting for your subscribers, for your followers.
Okay. So why don't well, first I'll introduce you. Well, first I'll welcome you to the show, and then I'll introduce you, and then I'll give you a little opportunity to kind of tell people, who you are, what you do, that kind of thing. And then from there, why don't we talk about your book? And then after that, we will talk about, do you have a website up yet?
Yes,
Okay. Is it in English or is it in Russian?
it's in Russian mostly.
Okay.
It's
All
my
right.
last name.com.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. What else should we
I'll
talk
have my
about?
book with me.
What are one of your favorite topics to talk about? Yes.
Rick, let's just start talking. I would love to share my thoughts about my way to personal development. How we met Jack Canfield, our mentors.
Okay.
What's that for us to develop as a personality, as a thinker, as a motivational speaker? Why is it important for us? What's our goals? What's their secrets to success? And whatever, it's our favorite subject.
Okay.
You are an expert in this, Rick.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Well, let's just here. So I will hit record. We'll let it go for about 10 seconds, just quiet, and then I'll welcome you to the show, and we'll just take off and see where we go.
That's great.
All right.
It's nice to see you, Rick.
Thank you. So today it's my pleasure to welcome to the Impossible is Nothing podcast my very good friend, all the way from the other side of the world in Russia, Pavel Verbnyak. Pavel, welcome to Impossible is Nothing. I'm super excited to have you here.
Rick, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk with you for your amazing show, amazing program. You are doing a great job, and it's my privilege and honor to be with you to share some ideas and my experience with you and with your followers, your people who love you, who who learn a lot from you. You're an amazing role model for not only for me, for thousands of people.
Oh, thank you, Pavel. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
Thank
You
you.
know, for the people here in the United States and around the world that don't know who you are yet, can you share with our listening audience a little bit about who you are? I know that you have a new book out. That's one thing, but just tell the people who you are. Tell them what you're up to.
Thank you. Absolutely, Rick. Yes, I'm 28 years old. Now I live here in Moscow. It's capital of Russian Federation. I moved to Moscow 4 years ago. I was born and grew up in the northwestern part of Russia. It's close to Finland and St. Petersburg. And I was very passionate about the question that I was asking to myself. It started 10 years ago. I started to wonder what's the difference between successful people and others.
Yeah.
How do they think? How do they do? Why some people more successful live abundant, happy, healthy life, and most people in our world don't live like this. And I
Yeah.
started to discover this because I was born in usual family. I was
Yeah.
brother, my mother, my father passed away when I was 7 years old, and we lived with my grandfather.
Yeah.
My mother was a librarian in school, and it was just usual intelligent family, nothing special in small city in Russia. In
Sure.
and I was I started to ask myself, how can I bring my life to the next level? Why I don't see any successful people around us, around our family, in our society? I would
Yeah.
like to do something special, and I've entered to the university on history department, and I started to learn a lot, to read books, to meet different people, to have interviews like you do, and I'm very passionate about this subject because success as a long-term failure is predictable, is not an accident. And I
Yeah.
started to use these principles, these ideas. I started to apply this because I asked myself, what does it work? What if that people who wrote this book or who said that to me in YouTube or in personal conversation, why
Yeah.
what if it's true? What if these principles work? Probably if I don't have any results, or my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother and mother didn't have results like I want to have, probably we don't know something. Probably we don't have some information what successful people know.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's very interesting subject because when you want to become a doctor,
Yeah.
you learn a lot about medicine, about this subject. When
Yeah.
you want to become successful person, you should learn from successful people,
Yeah.
because our mindset started to change, and
Yeah.
it's very important. It's the iron law of the universe, the law of cause and effect.
Yeah.
When you do what successful people do, we'll have the same results.
Yeah.
And
You know,
when our mindset is changing, it's getting it's our life, outside life is changing as well, from inside out.
sure. Sure.
Because
Let me ask you something, Bill, because you touched on something that I'd like to go a little deeper on. You said that when you were growing up, you had the unfortunate situation of losing your father at a very young age, and you were raised by your grandparents. And you were raised in a little community, and most of the people in that community were just, we'll just say, just regular people, just average,
Yeah,
everyday
regular
people.
people. Yeah.
And when you grow up in that community, did it feel like ever, like maybe the success thing just isn't for me, because I'm looking around and everybody I see just they're just going day to day. Did it ever feel anything like that? And if it did, how did you get yourself to think differently, to feel differently about taking yourself to another level?
Rick, that's great question. Thank you very much. Absolutely, you're right. When you grow in families, you think that my mother and my father knows exactly what's right for me. It's they're like our heroes. When we are
Yeah,
little, we don't know what's right, what's wrong.
yeah,
We learn a lot from them just watching them. We don't learn what we read or what they say. We learn what they do, and we'll do the same.
yeah,
And I didn't think about this. I thought that's the only way we can live, because I
yeah.
didn't know any other ways. I
Sure.
just saw my family. I just saw my family's friends, and I thought, wow, that's life. That's usual life. We
Yeah,
we didn't have luxury. We didn't have wealth. We didn't.
yeah,
And I thought that's probably anyone in the world lives like this.
yeah,
And but breakthrough inside for me was my first books about this. Its great impact on my mindset, on my life's philosophy. It's absolutely Napoleon Hill, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, people who achieved much more in lives than I saw in my own life.
yeah,
And it's great. As I mentioned before, Rick, my thinking, my mindset started to change a little bit by step. it,
yeah,
it wasn't like this. It's not just one day or 2 days. It took me a couple of years that I saw some results.
yeah,
And my first visit to the United States was when I was 20, when I applied for the program, exchange program, and I
yeah,
put my a goal for myself.
yeah,
I'm going to go there. I'm going to see how other people lives, how other cultures lives. And
yeah,
that was great experience for me, because my mindset changed great, because I didn't know that people can live like this. I didn't see any cultures. It was my first trip abroad, and it happened because I've learned a lot about success psychology
yeah.
about 3 years before my first travel abroad. And
Sure.
it
That
fully.
had to be kind of a scary deal, though. I mean, you're 20 years old. You're coming from Russia to the United States. You're coming from a background, and even though you've read some books, you're still coming from this background, where people are just kind of living day to day. And now, at the age of 20, you're coming to the United States looking to figure out how can I become more successful. How did that feel?
It's very unusual, Rick. My painting, like picture of my world, expands exactly like twice or 3 times than it was before.
Yeah,
And my first vision board, because I've read a lot about this, about psychology, how our mindset works, because our mindset works in pictures.
yeah,
We see the pictures, and our self-image, self uh, grows as well. And my first vision board was made in 2008. Like this, it's my second, or I think third one. My
yeah,
first one is right here.
yeah.
And three weeks after that, I went to the United States. I worked in Yellowstone National Park, and I've
Wow.
met a, a good person. We became good friends, and he just traveled in Yellowstone, and I was hitchhiking,
Oh,
and he,
wow.
he and we had conversation, and he went back to Florida because he lives there and he has second home here, And when my contract finished, when I stopped working in Yellowstone, I just sent message, Barry, I would like to visit you in Florida. He said, of course, I'll pick you up from the airport. And I went to Florida, and he said, okay, let's go downstairs to my garage, to my car. I'm going to show you around the city. And I went there. We were driving in the city, Jacksonville, Florida. And I said, wow, Barry, like 1.5 months ago when I was in Russia, I've made my first vision board, my dream board. And I put some pictures what I would like to have in my life. Like New York. I already visited New York when I came to the United States like two months ago, or 1.5 months ago. I've put some great people, mentors, and also I've put yellow sports car. And I said, Barry, there was a picture like this, and now I'm driving yellow sports car with you. So we attract people, we attract circumstances, we attract great opportunities because we know exactly what we're going to have in life. Dream big, because when we write down our goals, when we put some pictures in our vision boards, we put these images in our subconscious mind. And the law of attraction works all the time, because I discovered this subject about 9 years, and I know how our words, how our thoughts impact on our life. Because we can use words, we can use images. I always try to use positive words. Because that works very well. You know, Rick, what Jack Canfield, our mutual friend and mentor, showed us how our words use on our power of our body, and that's how it works. Because I see the difference how my life was 10 years ago, and I see the difference. The people around, my friends are CEOs, great wealthy people, and I was just dreaming about this kind of people in my life.
We met, I guess it's been about 1.5 years ago, and you just mentioned our good friend and our mentor, Jack Canfield, and that's where we met at Jack's famous Train the Trainer program. And, it was so interesting. I'll never, for the rest of my life, forget this. In fact, it's just hitting me really hard right now, but one of the first exercises that Jack had us do within the first week of this, almost year-long training was this exercise where you pair up with somebody, and it's a silent exercise. There's no talking, there's no movement, and all you do is just look into the other person's eyes. And the person that I was paired up with was you, Pavel. And we had never met. We were from two different parts of the world, and really just in candor, here we were, two guys. I mean, guys don't normally look each other in the eye like that. If you do, it's probably going to turn bad pretty fast.
Like aggressive.
It's going to turn aggressive. And we sat there, it seemed like, I don't know, for 10 minutes, just looking into each other's eyes very, very quietly. And we formed a bond that will last a lifetime. And then from there, we spent the rest of the year with, I think, 80 or 85 people from around the world, and Jack, and learning all these success principles and exercises and way to train people. And now here we are. I mean, how beautiful is that?
That's very beautiful. That's amazing, Rick. I'm very grateful for that experience. I'm very grateful for opportunities now I have in life, because it was very difficult for me to imagine to grow somewhere abroad, to buy a ticket and go to Amsterdam like I was in two weeks ago for another training, to go and apply for this program, because Jack Canfield is one of the best success experts in the world, and I was studying this subject for 10 years now, and I've seen that program, Train the Train program, Rick, about I think 7 years ago, and I was thinking about it. I would love to join this program, but I wasn't ready for this program mentally and financially, because this is not cheap program.
Sure.
And when I saw the program like 3 years ago, I said, "Wow, that's how it works. That success principle works. That's his book, his Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins works very well." And now I'm ready. I have financial reserve. I have some money for this, and I've applied for this. And I
Yeah.
took interview, and Alice, our good friend, said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you are good for this program. You can join us." And I applied. I've paid some money. It wasn't cheap for me as well, like $16,000, and it's great, Rick. It's amazing experience. It's amazing transformational training, and I'm very grateful that I have you as my new friend, new role model, good friends, good role model, great mentors. And as I told and shared my ideas when we were in the training, like in Scottsdale or in California, I was dreaming about such kind of people around. I was dreaming about such kind of friends,
Yeah.
and it's how it works, because these principles, these ideas are universal. When you use them, when you living like on using them, everything started to change in life.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you have just written a book. The book has been published and it's been released, and it looks like the book is doing very well. Can you tell us a little bit about your new book, Pavel?
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. This is my second book. My first book was published 5 years ago on the same subject, how to unlock potential and be more successful in life. And yeah, in April this year, 2015, was published another book in Russian in the major publisher in Russian speaking countries. It's
Yeah.
called Success by Your Own, with my
Yeah.
picture on it.
Yeah.
And it's became best selling for a couple of months in online store,
Yeah.
in Russian online store. It's now it translated in English, Rick. I will let you know how it's going on, but
Good.
it's not published in English yet. But I
Okay.
would like to share my ideas, my knowledge, my experience with much more people around, because
Yes.
I've took some interviews. I've put some interviews here. I would like to interview you, Rick, for my another book, and here's some amazing ideas from people I've met, from the owners of countries, of companies. It's Robert Kiyosaki, team member Ron Salvador, and it's and after another every chapter there's home task, what the
Yeah.
people reader can apply right now. It's like book training.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
like it very much. It's very I like how it became, and how it looks like right now. It's about 110 pages,
Yeah.
and full of ideas that changed my life, my thinking. I've mentioned Jack, I've mentioned Brian Tracy.
Sure.
Brian Tracy is a great mentor for me as well. I've met him 5 times, and I've learned a lot from such kind of people like Jack, Tony Robbins. I was in UPW, Unleash the Power Within, and Jack Canfield. It's great, because when you talk with this kind of people, the best in the world, when you talk with you who achieved much more in life, you are changing as a person as well. You started to think a little bit different, and when you learn a lot from this kind of people who are living dream life, you are getting better and better and better. You see results that you was dreaming, you was thinking about 2 or 3 years ago, and now you see the difference in your own life, and you
Yeah.
see the difference in people who learn from you. Now you became mentor and role model for other people.
Yeah.
It's great
Yeah.
to learn by yourself, because I learn a lot like you, Rick. Visit seminars and trainings in Europe and the United States, because
Sure.
when you are a mentor for other people, you have to learn by yourself. You have to see the results in your own life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting point too, Pavel, because a lot of the things that you've been studying, I've been studying, kind of the circle of people that we've now surrounded ourselves with is stuff that you don't learn in school. They don't teach it in the university. They certainly don't teach it before you get to a university. And even if you have an advanced degree, a postgraduate degree, and maybe if you get into some sort of a specialized doctorate degree or MBA or something like that, you may pick up some of this stuff. But for most people, this is not information that you learn in school. So you have to continue learning. You can't just get to the end of, your first level of school and then think, okay, I know everything now. And then expect that you're going to have this phenomenal life.
It's one of my favorite subjects, Rick. I think one of their major habit that can guarantee your success is habit for constant personal and professional development.
Yeah.
Because any subject, any skill, any habit you can apply in your own life. It's the philosophy called kaizen, or constant and never-ending improvement, as Tony Robbins say, like kanai, constant and
Yeah.
never-ending or kaizen. It's philosophy that bring Toyota company to the next level.
Yeah.
It's constant improvement. And
Yeah.
this philosophy, this psychology you can apply in your own life, not only in business, in company, in corporate market, but in your own life. Because
Yeah.
when you get better, the life gets better. When
Sure.
you get more results, more value for your people, for clients, for city, for country, you'll
Yeah.
get more financial abundance in your own life.
Right. And when you do that, when you take responsibility for improving yourself, when you take responsibility for the outcomes in your life, when you take responsibility for creating the life that you live, for some people they say, well, God, that's a lot of responsibility, Rick. Yeah, I know. But at the same time, it gives you so much power. I mean, it gives you power over everything, really. I mean,
Yes,
what do you, for the people that are listening, tell them what you think about that.
absolutely, Rick. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time for reading, for listening audio tapes," but we all live in modern world, in cities, in small towns, in villages. Uh, Indianapolis is amazing megapolis. Moscow is amazing big city, and we always use cars. We always use subway and metros and underground. And I always try to use this time wisely. I always try to read every day or 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I always try to listen audio tapes, audio programs, because 30 minutes per day, it's about it's about one book per week. And when you
Yeah.
read one book in your subject per week, it's about more 50 books per year. And when you listen audio tapes, audio books, 50 books per year, you are much more better than other people in your subject. You are an expert in this subject. You learn much more in sales, in marketing, in psychology, in any subject you choose for yourself. And you can become an expert not only in your city, you can be an international recognized expert in 5 years. When you
Yeah.
apply, when you invest your time and energy, and when you do some activities, some actions during these years, you can be much more valuable for people. You can earn much more money because you learn more. You know more. You are an expert in this subject. You can learn new language. You can open new market for your company. When
Yeah.
you know this subject, when you know Chinese, you can open Chinese market. When
Yeah.
you if English is not your native language, you can become an excellent in English, and you can do much more in the world, not only in your country. You can open worldwide recognized market. You can be an expert in this. You can write book. You can you can be more uh,
Well,
more
you can do anything. I mean, you
anything.
can do anything
Absolutely.
because,
Yeah.
that time, I mean, if you think about it, most people at least according to the research that I've seen, after high school, don't read many books. And that number is very, very small. Maybe in the course of the rest of their lifetime, a lot of people don't read any more books. Some people might pick up a magazine here or there, or maybe read the newspaper sometime. But in terms of reading a book that might make their life a little bit better, or maybe even a lot better, they just don't do it. And what you're saying is, if you just invest a half hour a day, if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it, or you can listen to an MP3, or you can listen to a podcast, or whatever. You can even listen to audiobooks now where somebody else reads it to you. All you got to do is listen, and you don't even have to really listen, and pay close attention. You could just have it playing in the background, and you'll still get the benefit of it. And if you do that, in the course of a year, you will have consumed 50 books. That's pretty impressive, and I'm so proud of you, Pavel.
Absolutely, Rick. Thank you. I'm proud of you as well. And I told you before and many times. And you can be an expert in sales, in negotiation. Just ask yourself, what kind of skill, what kind of habit should I apply in my own life to increase my sales, to increase my income, to improve my relationships in family with my colleagues. And it's amazing because books that I've read like more than 1,000 books on psychology and business and biographies and autobiographies, and every book changed my thinking. And when you read this kind of people, this kind of books, you're getting a little bit different person.
Yeah, and that's what it's really all about, is who is the person that you want to become? Because when people think about, I'd like to do this, or I'd like to do that, or I'd like to have this, or I'd like to have that, I think sometimes they don't think about what kind of person would I need to become in order to live that kind of life, because that's really where it starts.
Rick, that's powerful. That's amazing philosophy. Thank you very much. Absolutely. It's very important to set goal to have a $1 million per year income. It's great, but the most important question is, what kind of person should I become to have this income? What kind of knowledges and skills should I have to get better person? And our mutual friend Rick, Waylon Chavez, sent me a book for to say some words about this, and he shares with me some ideas that he said it's very important how our days begin. Rick.
Yes.
It's our first hour is very important. It's called golden hour hour of power, and he says very nice. He calls morning meal. M, first 20 minutes meditation. E, exercise. A, affirmation, power of word. L, learning. So you can use this hour very wisely. You can use this hour to prepare your new day. You can plan your day. You can visualize your ideal day, your ideal negotiations. It's powerful to learn how usual day looks like for this person, for this millionaire, for this person who living already this kind of life that I'm dreaming of, and you can apply in your own life, because meditation is very powerful tool, goal setting is very powerful tool, physical activity, energy is amazing, it's very powerful tool.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, because when you use that first hour, whether you call it the golden hour, the morning meal, Hal Elrod calls it the miracle morning, whatever you call it, when you become intentional, when you say and declare to the universe, and most importantly to yourself, that on this day I'm going to live intentionally. So rather than just be that person that, the alarm clock goes off and you hit it, go back to sleep, I don't want to get up, I gotta go to work, all this stuff. No, you say, this day is my day, this is my gift, and this is what I choose to do with this gift that I've been given. I'm going to set the intention. These are the things that I'm going to do today, come what may. And that doesn't mean that things on the outside aren't going to pop up. They will pop up, but we have a solution for that. E plus R equals O, and you know that just
Yeah.
as well as I do. But what a different way to think about living your life.
Rick, it's I've we've I'm a founder of project. It's found it started 3 years ago. It's called successful thinking.
Yeah.
Mindset is very important. More than
Yes.
2,000 years ago, thinkers said that we become what we think about most of the time.
Yes.
And what successful people think about most of the time? They think about what they want and how to get this.
Right.
And most people we ask in the street, what are you thinking about right now? And most of the time, they said they say about what they don't want. They criticize. They're angry, and they attract these people, these circumstances. And when we think about what we want and what we're grateful for, what we want our lives in 5 years, in 10 years, in major areas of life, in family, in business, in finances, in your health, in your social activities. When you write down, when you think about this, how you what kind of steps you should, what kind of habits or what kind of activities would you like to do, and it's great because here's my notebooks, Rick, notebooks,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
I think 8 or 9 notebooks, and I write down more than 3 or 4 years. I write down my 10 major goals for life every single morning.
Yeah.
I write down in my first 20 minutes. I write down my goals. What would you like to achieve in life?
Yeah.
It's some goals for 2027, some goals for 2020. And when you write down your goals, when you see the goals before you're going to sleep, our subconscious mind is working all the time. And you see the difference when you focus on your goals, when you see the picture, you see, wow, I see my life is getting so wonderful, so abundant. I
Yeah.
didn't know what to do, but now it's getting more clear because I know exactly what I'm going to want. I know exactly my priorities. I know exactly how I can use my time the best way right now.
Yeah.
I know exactly what should I say yes and what should I say no, because we
Yeah.
have a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of people, oh, let's go to the party, or let's go to this training.
Yeah.
And when you know your goals, you can say, oh, I'm not going to the party. Not going to spend my 2 hours. I'm going to do this. I'm going to send my messages. I'm going to read this book because I want to become an expert in this subject. And when you know exactly your goals, your vision, your dreams, you know exactly what opportunities, what invitation you would like to say no, and what you should say yes, because no is very important word for time management. you cannot
Yeah.
you cannot you cannot manage your time, but you can know you can manage yourself, and you
Yes.
can manage your
Yes.
priorities. And a lot of
Absolutely.
successful people are excellent in time management. They are
Yeah.
excellent in goal setting. It's very important subject. It's very important skill.
Yeah.
It's foundation of success. To see
Yeah.
exactly what you're going to have, and to pay the price. Pay the
Yeah.
price before you're going to have. It's like buffet. It's not restaurant. You should to
Right.
pay the price before your success. You cannot
Yes.
to go to have your success and say, oh, I'm going to pay the price later. You can
Yeah.
pay the price right now before buffet. You go to the buffet, you pay the price, and then you can eat anything you want. It's not
Yeah.
like in restaurant. Eat first and then pay. It's in
Yes.
life the
Yes.
same.
Yeah. And these principles and all of this, everything that we've been talking about today, it doesn't just apply to some people. It doesn't just apply to people that are already successful. It doesn't just apply to people that are a certain age or from a certain background or a certain anything. They apply to everybody. I mean, you're 28 years old. You've already written 2 books. You've traveled from Russia to the United States and other parts of the world. And I know you've been to a lot of different places in the United States, and you're teaching other people. Man, I mean, this is really cool. I mean, here's a guy, 28 years old, that's a shining example that success is available to everyone.
Yes, Rick, that's my mission, that's my goal to share these ideas, these methods, these techniques to apply in different kind of lives because I'm always applying these principles, these techniques, these methodics and ideas in my own life. I
Yeah.
share and teach this from my experience because
Yeah.
that's how it works. Bec- we all from different kind of childhood. My
Yeah.
my family never earned more than $300 per month,
Wow.
and it's that's how it works because it's amazing because when you see how it works, when you apply these methods in your own life, you see how it works. When you learn, when you learn from people like you, Rick, I remember your inspirational story
Yeah.
on the stage and what kind of experience you have and what kind of circumstances and difficult situations you had in your own life. I
Yeah.
always learn from this. I always think about this kind of people with impressive, with how to say in English, I forgot these words, but with great feeling, with great honoring this kind of people because it's much like 90% of people who achieved much great results, who are multimillionaires, who are founders
Yeah.
of companies, 90% of that kind of people started from nothing. They
Yeah.
didn't have a wealthy family, they didn't have something special in their childhood, they
Yeah.
just wanted to achieve something extraordinary in their own life.
Yeah.
And
And I think that's super important because it really doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you are today. The only thing that matters right now is that you make a decision to change and to become better, become the person that you want to become. Live into those principles. And like Pavel said at the beginning of this interview, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time and it's going to take some work and it's going to take some dedication. But if you stay committed, there are no limits. Impossible is nothing. There are no limits. You can do, you can become, you can have, you can be anybody that you want to be. We're both living examples of that, right, Pavel?
that's right, Rick. That's right. And I would like to repeat some breakthrough ideas in my own life that changed my thinking, my results in life. That you can have anything you want in life. Just apply these steps that works for other people who already living that kind of life you would like to have. And success is predictable, is not an accident. It's not a luck. It's not just, oh, he became successful overnight. Everyone start talking about this. Everyone, media, newspapers, TV. But this overnight, this night for that people, that person could take 5, 10 years of his life. He had a lot of failures, but he stood again, stood up, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very powerful. The law of the iron law of the universe, the law of
yeah,
cause and effect.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
be
That's
afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid failures because we always have such kind of circumstances. But this just learning experience, these steps you can have in your own life to achieve something special. And you know
yeah,
the word in Chinese language, crisis, have two meanings: crisis and opportunity, like
uh,
failure and opportunity. And you you should know about this.
yeah. Pavel, I am so glad that we were persistent in getting together because this has been a fabulous conversation. I think that our listeners will be as inspired as I am right now to know that there's a person all the way on the other side of the world that cares about them, that is cheering for them, that believes in them, that has shared with them that no matter where you are today, you can achieve anything you want if you're just willing to do what it takes, if you're willing to open up your mind and open up your heart and stay committed. I mean, I'm so thankful for you joining us today, Pavel. It's just been fabulous.
Rick, thank you very much again for this opportunity to talk with you, for your program, for your amazing show, to talk with your listeners, with our followers. It's great opportunities. I'm very grateful to you personally, to this kind of life we are living now. It was difficult to believe that I can travel the world to make seminars and trainings in different countries. It's going to be in India in 2 weeks, and in Amsterdam in the United States, and make seminars
Yeah,
and trainings for companies and for employees, for amazing companies, big companies. And it
yeah,
was difficult to understand that I'm living now my dream life. I travel the world, I make seminars, I share my ideas, I wrote my second book, and I follow your successes, Rick. I follow successes of our mutual friends in the United States, in Germany, who are, who are participants in training program with Jack Canfield.
yeah,
I was participant in luxury retreat with Jack Canfield in Italy
yeah,
2 months ago. It's great. We apply this principle, and they absolutely works all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
When you use these principles, you'll get results. It's
yes,
it's guaranteed, in 100% guarantee, and you can
yes,
achieve any goal you set for yourself.
yes,
It's guarantee. Personal,
yeah,
constant, and never-ending improvement. Focus on your results. Focus on your vision and goals, and 100% responsibility for your own life. There are dozens of success principles, but these three principles, it's my favorite. It's it's you can apply, you can read, you can apply this principle, you can talk with people, and your life is getting better every single day.
yes, yes, it is. Well, again, Pavel, I am so thankful to have you here. I can't wait until we can connect again, and I'm going to continue to follow you as you continue on your journey of helping others make their dreams come true as you set bigger and faster and neater and cooler and more fabulous dreams for yourself and then make those dreams come true. And I look forward to working with you on a world stage sometime soon.
Absolutely, Rick. We were talking about this before, and we have plans to do something special together: seminar, conference, success summit. Absolutely, because I've seen your speech. I know how you talk, and you are very inspirational. You are reminding me Les Brown, and Les Brown, Tony Robbins, and Jack Canfield put together. And you are special. You are Rick Petry. You are
Uh,
not like them. You are Rick Petry. You are unique. And
oh,
how you talk, how your voice, how your inspirational and motivational story works, and it's so powerful. I was listening to you, and I was thought, wow, I know
wow.
Rick. Rick is my friend, and I'm honored to have you as my role model, and you are my mentor and teacher in different kind of circumstances and situations in life. I learn a lot from you and dozens of people around.
Yeah.
It's great privilege and honor to know you and to talk with you, to share my ideas, to listen your ideas and your experience. It's priceless, Rick. I'm very
Uh,
thankful again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pavel. And I look forward to talking to you again soon, my friend. You are such a wonderful human being. Take
Rick,
care, Pavel. We'll talk soon.
talk to you soon, Rick. Best
All
wishes
right.
to everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.